Hey everyone, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining today. I'm obviously taking it very seriously because I've got my yoga teacher Marla on, which I don't wear a lot. I sometimes wear it like this, but sometimes I wear it like this. This is when I'm being a proper yoga teacher. This one is beautiful, actually. I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. As you can see, it's made from wood, and then it's got this glass in it as well. And I think the glass is from a beach. I think it's Siam. Is that right? Siam in the northeast. And there used to be a glassworks, and then all of the glass got kind of like deposited onto the beach, and then the sea has rounded the glass beautifully. And one of my friends made this for me, and I took it out to India, and I dipped it in the Ganges. So this has been dipped in the Ganges. So this is kind of like my sacred mala, and a mala is used mainly for meditation. So on these beads, there's like 108 beads threaded. And what happens is that you just count them. So you just move them along. So here you've got 1, and then 2, and then 3. And you just keep moving the beads along. And then it helps focus your concentration. So we think about these as kind of like an aid to meditation or an aid for mindfulness. And they look quite nice as well, don't they? So I'm wearing my mala today. I'm going to tuck it in, and I might take it off as we move through the class. So yeah, thank you for joining. As I said right at the start, it's a little bit warm, isn't it? The last few days, and we're going to go into warmer weather. I'd encourage you to kind of move through your yoga practice with a little bit of ease and grace during these warmer times. We don't have to kind of like fly around and get overwhelmed by the heat. There's lots of things that we can do in yoga which will aid our practice, and it will kind of cool us down. So we'll look at some of those things today, because I really like looking at these things where there's a breath for everything. There's a physical asana. Asana is the physical yoga postures which we do. There's something for everybody, and there's something for the heat as well, because we sometimes think, I can't do that movement in the heat, I don't want to get hot. But kind of bringing heat into the body can be a really kind of therapeutic way. We call it tapas in yoga, tapas, to kind of like burn and to heat the body in this nice gentle but controlled way. So we'll have a look at a little bit of that as well today. So if you're not sat on your mat, come to sit down, and you can sit cross-legged. And I encourage you, I'm going to do this at the start here. If you've got a wall near you, then just sit up against the wall, get really comfortable. And if you want to kind of, let's do this, if you've got a cushion, we'll make it super, super comfortable today. Then place a cushion underneath your sit bones. So remember, it doesn't have to be, this kind of like, oh, we've got to get into this perfect posture. We can kind of relax it a little bit, okay? So here we are with our backs against the wall. Maybe you bring the back of your head against the wall. Remember, when we're stood in Tadasana, this is the posture that we want. Even when we're sat, away from a wall, this is the kind of posture. So lengthen the back of the neck. And then you find that your head is stacked right above your heart, and your heart is stacked right above your hips. Beautiful. Bring your hands onto your knees, palms up or palms down. And then just simply breathe here. Just take a few deep inhales and full exhales. So just arriving into the class, just notice what you're noticing. See what you brought onto the mat today. That's all we're doing. We just begin to pay attention. Yoga is probably not all about what sort of shapes we can pull, and how good it looks. That's not what it's about. It's about bringing awareness into our body and bringing our awareness into the breath. So just notice. I'll be quiet just for a moment. And then just take 2 more complete rounds of breath here. And then if your eyes are closed, just come with your eyes open. So you can stay where you are. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to come a little bit closer to the camera, because I'm going to show you this breath, which is a cooling breath. So it's called Sitali or Sitali breath. Some people call it Sitali, some people call it Sitali. And it's where we breathe through our tongue. Sounds weird, doesn't it? But go with the weirdness. The weirdness is good, all right? It's only kind of like the outside world that tells us certain things are a little bit weird. So what we do is we roll our tongue, just like this. And there's going to be some of you that go, I can't roll my tongue, Dave. That's okay. So you just curl your tongue, and maybe you just breathe through your pursed lips. So instead of breathing through your tongue, you can breathe through pursed lips. So that'll be, or you can clench the teeth nice and lightly and then breathe through your teeth. So that'll be for some of you. For some of you, it will be rolling, breathing through the rolled tongue, and you just roll it like a little leaf and you breathe through it. So you inhale through the tongue or through the teeth or through your pursed lips, and then you're going to exhale through your nose. So this is a very cooling breath. If you're feeling a little bit warm today, this is going to chill you out. It's going to like literally, don't like to use words literally, but it will literally cool you down. It's a beautiful one. So find that beautiful posture again. You're either sat against the wall or you've moved away from the wall like I have. Make sure you're comfortable. Maybe you want to bring just your hands down by your hips, roll your shoulder blades back, have a little wriggle around, and then your focus will be here, just at your third eye, in between your eyebrows, and then find that breath that works for you. So either through the teeth, through the pursed lips, or through the tongue. So taking a nice deep inhale. And a full exhale. Just working like that. Inhaling. Exhaling through the nose. And 3 more complete rounds in your own time. Beautiful. Nice. And then if you finish those 3 rounds, just lean back into your hands. If you're against the wall, just come against the wall. Bring your feet out. So you can probably, if I just shuffle back a little bit, you can see my feet. And then just drop the knees to either side. If you joined as I was doing that breath, you might have thought, what is going on with this guy? Because if you missed the start of the class, that's Sitali breath or Sitali breath, and it's a cooling breath, cooling the body down. And we're obviously going to, bring a little bit of heat into the body as well, but it's a nice thing to find that coolness before we start so we don't feel overwhelmed. Beautiful. Bring your knees back to center and then have your fingertips just face forward. Maybe I'll go from the side because it will give you a better view. So you're here, and just shuffle back and then press your feet into the floor. They're about hip width apart. Have a quick look at them, line them up, and then just do some reverse tables. So you just lift the hips. So you're here and then bring the hips down. Lift up through the hips. Maybe if the neck feels okay, you can let it drop, but be gentle. Or you can be here with the chin just tucked in. And then bring your hips down. A couple more times. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Last time, inhale up. And then exhale all the way down. Beautiful. Nice. And then from here, just come with the legs crossed again. And then we'll move into a nice simple twist. So the legs are crossed, doesn't matter which shin's in front. Inhale, sweep your arms up. And then as you exhale, I'd like you just to twist over to the right. Bring your left hand onto the right knee. The right hand comes behind. Take a deep inhale here. So this is the length in the spine. And then as you exhale, just twist over to the right. So deep inhales. Full exhales. Nice. Every inhale, you find length. Every exhale into your twist. 2 more like that. Deep inhale. Full exhale. 1 more. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. And then all you're going to do is you're going to inhale all the way back to center. Let's do it again. Sweep the arms up. And then exhale over to the left. So right hand, left knee, left hand behind. Find length, smile. Exhale over to the left. So every inhale you find length. Come out the twist a little bit. Every exhale, just coming back into the twist. Deep inhales. Full exhales. 2 more like that. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Final time. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way back to center. Bring your fingertips out and then just press into your fingertips. Just have a little wriggle around here. Nice. Just feel that movement through the torso. Bring your hands back onto your knees. Bring your shoulders up towards your ears and then bring your shoulders down. So that's all you're doing. Inhale up, exhale down. Little movement through the shoulders. So we're moving into the spine when we twist. And then all this tension that we hold in the shoulders, then we just let it go. Really drop the shoulder blades down the back on your exhale. Check in with your face, check in with your jaw. Make sure that you're not tensing anywhere. Two more times. Inhale up and exhale down nice and slowly. Beautiful. Nice and simple. Walk your hands out in front and then just begin to rock the hips from side to side. So the pelvis is now beginning to tilt forward. You're pressing your sit bones down into the floor. You might want to stay here. This is nice and high. Your heart center leads. So, you want to keep that length in the spine. Again, I'll show you from the side. This is not all about just coming down this deepest, deepest version of the posture. You see, I've still got length in my spine here, or as much length as I can. Maybe around a little bit, maybe I find length. Make sure the lower spine feels okay. And then if you want to kind of round into the spine, you can just bring this super rounding in and you can bring the forearms down. Maybe your head goes a bit lower than mine. You can always prop it with the hands or just breathe deeply here. Or maybe you just want to stay nice and high. Breathe deeply. Deep, rich inhales. Full releasing exhales. Maybe a little bit of movement from side to side can feel good. Beautiful, everyone. And then press back into your hands and then come all the way back to the seated position. Nice. I'm just going to move back to center and then we're just going to flex the spine a little bit. So we'll bring the hands onto the front shin. So the hands are not doing a lot. They're kind of just resting. Think about your navel center. Think about your pelvis. And you inhale, you just bring the heart center forward. So the pelvis rocks forward here. As you exhale, you just lean back and you round into the spine. So the pelvis does this. It moves backwards. As you inhale, you rock forward. As you exhale, you come back. Inhale forward, exhale back. Now, this might be a tiny little movement. You might be here. That's good. You might want to make it a little bit more expansive, but make sure your head remains still and see if you can match this movement with breath. This is all about moving energy up from the hips into the lumbar spine, the lower spine. This is where we carry a lot of tension. And you can work with quite a powerful breath if that feels good. Inhale forward, exhale round. Stay relaxed through the jaw. Have that air of curiosity in your practice. This might be brand new, the way that you're moving your body now. It might be like, oh, what is going on? I've never moved my body like this before, or, haven't moved my body like this for a long time. So we're just kind of curious about how it feels. We never push through any pain. That's not what we do in yoga. But there wants to be some challenge here. I'm always talking about joyful movement. So we try and move with joy. So we're certainly not judging ourselves here. We're not kind of like going, oh, what's this doing? This isn't doing anything for me. I can't move my body right. You just come into each posture, a little bit of love, a little bit of respect. And we'll be here just for a little bit longer. Just carry on like that. Inhaling forward, exhale round, inhale forward, exhale round, just for a few more times. Nice. Beautiful. 2 more times. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And then your next inhale, bring your heart center through. Pause the breath. Squeeze the belly up and in. And when you're ready, exhale. Let it go. Nice, everyone. Beautiful. Really nice. Come on to all fours. So I'm going to stay quite close to the camera today. Hope you don't mind. get a good view of me, see what's going on. Let me just move back just a little bit. So you can see, let's think a little bit about kind of alignment and posture here. My knees are right below my hips. And then look at my hands. They're spread out on the floor. You can just about probably see them. Just move the camera just a tiny bit, just so we can see this beautiful rug that I bought from Turkey. There you go. So my hands are spread. We're going to move through cat and cow. So this is your inhale. As you bring your heart center forward, you can see that my belly drops down. And then this is your exhale. You round the spine. And I tuck my belly back towards the navel. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Cat and cow. Just move at your own rhythm. Move at your own pace. Maybe you're moving super slow. Or maybe a little bit quicker like I am, but I'm certainly not thinking about moving, in a quick way. I'm just moving in a nice, steady fashion. Inhale, tailbone elongates, spine is long. Exhale, the spine rounds. Two more. Take a deep inhale, come all the way back to center. Beautiful. Full exhale. Bring your big toes together if you can, so they just touch. Bring your knees nice and wide, about the width of your mat, and then just drape the body down onto the floor. Remember, at this point, you can always place your head on your hands. You can place your head on fists. If you stack your fists, this can feel nice. We're just lying directly down onto the floor. You might have this connection of your heels onto your sit bones. You might be a little bit higher where you're here or you're here. Just see what you can release. Don't push it, but you can bring a little bit of intention into your hands, so you can claw into the fingers like this. This can feel nice. It can help you kind of just encourage the sit bones back onto your heels. If you're thinking, what are my sit bones? Then it's just your bum, really. You just probably don't want me to say bum too many times in a yoga class. Not that we should be ashamed of our bums or anything, but sit bones is the kind of the way that we describe that part of the body, especially in yoga. We're sitting down on those sitting bones. Nice. And then from here, just walk your hands back towards your knees. So you can place them here like mine in front, or you can place them by the side, and then just press yourself all the way up and just come to sit. Nice. Beautiful work. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back onto my mat. So if you're there already, fantastic. I'm going to meet you there. And then just come to stand and move this cushion out of the way. If you feel that you want to keep a cushion, that's absolutely fine. You might need it later on in the class. And then just come to stand on your mat for the first time. Beautiful. Line your feet up. They can be about hip width apart, and then spread out through your toes, or maybe lift the toes. It can feel nice just spreading your toes out, and then maybe just rocking onto your toes, lifting the heels. Don't have to come up too far. It's not a competition. Just feeling that stretch through the feet, getting into the balance. How does it feel? If you kind of wobble around a little bit, that's fine. Don't worry about it too much. Notice what this feels like. And then place your feet back down onto the floor and find that connection. All four corners of your feet are pressing into the floor. You're like, so what, Dave? We're just standing. But this is your groundedness. This is how you're connected to the earth. And it can be really powerful. So think about all four corners of your feet. And then we think about stacking the body. So we think about feet and ankles, and we think about our hips. You see, my hips are lined up. And then I think about my shoulders are lined up over my hips. My heart center is nice and proud. I've got length in the back of the neck. Remember when we sat at the start and we kind of brought the head back? And then imagine someone's got a little bit of string and they're just pulling on that string. So the crown of the head is just pointing up. This is Tadasana, palms face forward. Breathe deeply here. Mountain posture. A posture we come back to time and time again in yoga. Nice work. All right. From here, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, bring your hands down and then come into a standing forward fold, nice and slowly. Keep a bend in the knees. I encourage that in all of my classes. This is not about a competition of coming down and maybe bringing your fingers on the floor. You might not want to be here. You can be here. You can be here. You can be here. You can be in all sorts of variations, but you're looking for weight into your toes and you're looking for a stretch here at the back of your hamstrings, or right at the top of your hamstrings. I guess the back of your hamstrings is always going to be the back of your hamstrings, isn't it? The back of your body. Nice. And then maybe just sway from side to side. If you feel comfortable here and you want to lengthen your legs, feel free. And you can always grab onto opposite elbows. But it's all options, this stuff. Deep, rich inhales. And then full releasing exhales. So think about your breath. Deep inhale. Full exhale. 2 more like that. Your deepest inhale. Your fullest exhale. 1 more deep inhale. And a full exhale. And then if you've got your hands like I have, now bring them down onto the floor, bend deeper into the knees, and then just simply roll all the way back up to come to that Tadasana, your mountain posture. Roll your shoulders back, heart center's nice and proud, awareness on the breath, body's nice and relaxed, it's engaged, but there's a relaxation through it, and your mind is hopefully a little bit at ease, or more at ease than when you started the class. All right, let's move it on a little bit. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Nice. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way back up, come up to stand. Maybe a hint of a back bend, and then exhale, hands to heart center. So we just move like that. Inhale up. Beautiful. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, sweep the arms high and wide. And then exhale, hands to heart center. 2 more like that. So move with the breath. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. 1 more. Inhale. Exhale, forward fold. Press into your feet. Inhale, come up to stand. Maybe look to the palms. And then exhale, hands to heart center. Beautiful. And then just remain here. Hands at heart center. Breathe deeply. And just notice what you're noticing. It's that really simple idea of yoga is where we just begin to pay attention. So we'll move this on a little bit. So we're doing this quite a lot at the moment. So we'll bring our hands to heart center and we'll just move through a nice simple sun salutation. Let's do it really, really slow, and we'll hold the postures a little bit longer. So you're going to build a lot of strength here, a lot of vitality, but it will challenge you. All right. So in Tadasana, line your feet back up. Make sure they're lined up with the long edges of your mat. It's really important. You don't want to throw your hips out. Take an inhale, sweep your arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Nice. This time, take an inhale. Draw some length in your spine. I like to bring my hands right up onto my shins, maybe a little higher on my knees. This is a flat back position. Take 2 breaths. Deep inhale, weight into the toes. Full exhale, let the belly drop. Roll your shoulders back. 1 more. Deep inhale. Full exhale, and then just fold down over your legs. Plant your palms, step 1 foot back, then your other, and then take a nice deep inhale, and just lengthen into a plank. Have a look down in between your feet. You can have your feet about hip width apart, you can have your feet together, but wherever they are, press into the toes, spread out through your fingers, tuck your tailbone in, lengthen out here through the tailbone, and your gaze is probably just down to the top edge of your mat. Now, if this feels too strong, just do this and drop your knees. Otherwise, you're in high plank. Take 1 more deep inhale. And then as you exhale, everybody drop the knees. Keep your elbows tucked by your body. See if you can lower to the floor super slow. Like slow as you can. Like here, and the body's like, oh, wow. Keep going. Slowly, slowly, slowly. If you collapse to the floor, that's okay. Keep your elbows tucked in. When you're lying on the floor, press your tops of the feet into the floor. A little bit of engagement through the hands. Keep the elbows tucked in. Inhale, just raise the spine. So this is your cobra. Look at my feet. They're hip width apart, but they're really pressing down into the floor. So a lot of this movement just comes from the strength of my back. As you exhale, bring your forehead down. Do that 1 more time. Take an inhale, engage the feet, keep the elbows tucked, roll the shoulder heads back, keep the heart center lifted, and exhale. It's hard, isn't it, sometimes? Nice. Tuck your toes under, press back to all 4s. Nice. From here, we're going to do a nice variation. Sweep your right leg back, sweep your left arm forward. Nice. Sunbird, this is called. Imagine you're pressing the right foot, the sole of this foot that I'm waggling around now, into the wall behind. Stretch out through the left fingertips. If you're wobbling around, that's fine. If you want to close it down to all 4s or come into child's pose, that's good too. 1 more deep inhale if you're here with me. and then a full exhale, close it off, and then left leg out, right arm forward. Breathe deeply. It helps if the gaze is just on one spot. Deep inhales, full releasing exhales. Imagine you're shaking hands with someone out in front. One more like that. Nice deep inhale. And a full exhale. Bring everything down to all fours. Move through 3 rounds of cat and cow. Inhale, drop the belly down. Lift your head and your heart. Exhale, round your spine. Inhale. Exhale. One more like that. Nice deep inhale. And a full exhale as you round the spine. Inhale, come back to a nice neutral spine. And as you exhale, exhale through your mouth. Sigh it out. One more like that. Nice deep inhale. Full releasing exhale through your mouth. Then tuck your toes under, lift your hips, come into your first downward facing dog of the class. Beautiful. Have a look at my knees. But I like to bend my knees a lot because then I can find length in my spine. You know, I can be here, but then my spine begins to round, or I can be here and I can find that length. So that's what I'm looking for. Look, hips, lips, hips, lips. My hips and my lips are nice and high. Not my lips. It's got nothing to do with my lips. Could have, but it's not. My hips are nice and high, and my spine is nice and long. It's probably the first time I said lips in a yoga class. All right. From here, bend the knees, hinge the hips, look between the hands. Don't hinge your lips. Look between your hands, and then just step to the top of your mat. Now, you might just do that by your right foot and then your left, or you can do it in 3 or 4 steps. When you arrive, fold in deep. On your next inhale, I'd like you to come back to that flat back position. Come up halfway. A little bend in the knees can help. Exhale, round the spine. Press into your feet. Inhale. Come all the way up to stand. And then exhale. Bring your hands to heart center. So there's a little bit of variation there, isn't there? You know, that's nice. We can do that. We can move through sun salutations. We don't have to kind of do the same thing all the time. I'm just having a little bit of a look at the comments. Yes, hello to you, Margaret. Hi, Irene is here again. Yeah, really beautiful. Thank you for those comments. All right, so let's do one more round like that, but we'll do it with a low lunge. So the low lunges are beautiful to get into the hips. So from our Tadasana, our mountain pose, find your focus back on the breath. Take an inhale, sweep your arms up. As you exhale, fold in deep. Same again, inhale, find length, come up halfway. As you exhale, bring the hands down. Just step your right foot back. So nice giant step. Then drop your right knee. And then from here, just position your left foot. Go nice and wide. Make sure your left ankle and your left knee are lined up. Then take an inhale and sweep your arms up. Nice. Deep inhales. Full exhales. You know, I find it hard to kind of like relax my shoulders. So I bring my arms up. I'm a little bit too kind of hunched. So then I just bring this little relaxation in. Inhale, find length. Exhale, sink in deep. Maybe one more like that. Inhale, find length. And exhale, sink in a little bit deeper. Beautiful. One more deep inhale. And then a full exhale. Clasp the hands and then just bring the hands onto the left thigh and then just drop in a little bit deeper. But make sure the left knee and the left ankle are lined up. Maybe you just feel this stretch here and this right hip flexor. And that's where we're looking for the release. Nice. From here, just bring the hands down. And all you're going to do is you're going to step the right foot up to meet the left. Back in a standing forward fold. Hold on to opposite elbows and take 2 complete rounds of breath. So nice deep inhale. Full exhale. Nice, everyone. Deep inhale. And a full exhale. Beautiful. Nice. Bring the hands down. This time, now bring the hand onto the hips, bend deep into the knees, and then bring the feet somewhat together, and then sweep your arms up and come into chair pose. Nice. Maybe sit a little bit deeper. If you can see your toes, you're in the right position, so you need to draw your knees back if you can't. Nice. One more deep inhale. Full exhale, and then come to stand. Bring your hands to heart center. Give your legs a good shake out. And if you're anything like me, coming into your first chair pose, it's also known as awkward pose, Uttanasana. It can feel a little bit challenging. So just notice that. Let it all wash away. Physicality, the physicality of the class, you know, and sometimes we feel a little bit overwhelmed by the breath. Just let it all go. All right, so from here, take an inhale, sweep the arms back up, back into your chair position. Nice. We won't stay here because we're going to exhale into a forward fold. Nice. Flatten the palms. This time, just step the left foot back. Nice giant step. Drop the left knee. Press the top of the left foot into the floor. Remember, if the left knee feels a little bit dodgy and you're feeling a little bit sore, place a cushion under it or roll your mat. When you're ready, inhale. Sweep your arms up. Low lunge. Right knee and right ankle are lined up. A little scratch in my eye. Nice. Nice deep inhale. Full release and exhale. Nice. Deep inhale. Full exhale. One more like that. Your deepest inhale. Your fullest exhale. Clasp your hands. Bring the clasped hands over the right thigh. And then maybe just sink a little bit deeper in. Be aware of that right knee. Make sure it's lined up. You feel this in the left hip flexor. So we're releasing through the front of the hips. And the hips can get really, really tight. So this is a beautiful, simple movement. You might not want to drop in too much. Keep the shoulders nice and relaxed and the spine long. Nice. One more deep inhale. And a full release and exhale. Beautiful. Hands come down again. And then all you're going to do is step the left foot up. Just shuffle it forward. Line your feet up. And then this time, press into the feet. Inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. As you exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Beautiful stuff. Bring the hands down, step back into the middle of your mat. And all you're going to do is you're just going to come down with your hands in front. You're going to sit on your bum. Nice. And then all you're going to do is you're going to lie down on your mat. That's all the standing poses done. When you arrive here, hug your knees in towards your chest. And then just rock it out a little bit. So maybe feel the connection of your spine. It's really long. So from the tailbone all the way up to the crown of the head, you can imprint your vertebra all the way down into your mat. This is magic. You know, when we lie down and we can relax the shoulders and we can feel the ground beneath us, it can feel so pleasurable. It's a very simple thing to do. Beautiful. Nice. Do this. Bring your arms out. So they're nice and wide, so like a T shape. Bring your feet down and have a quick look as you do it. Line your feet up and then walk them right onto the edge of your mat. So your feet are quite wide. Nice. Let your knees touch. So your knees are together, your feet are wide. Think about your lower spine. You know, quite naturally we have that natural curvature of the spine, you know, right underneath the lumbar spine. See if you can press that part of your spine down into the floor. You see what that does to your body. Maybe you feel it here on your belly. You feel that little engagement in your core. So that little bit of engagement, come back to your breath. Your eyes are maybe closed. The awareness is on your breath. The awareness is on your body. And then separate your knees when you're ready. And then from here, just drop both knees over to the right-hand side. And as you do that, turn your head to the left and look down your left arm. Take a couple of breaths. This can feel wildly different from day to day, so just be aware of how you're feeling. When you're ready, take an inhale, come back to center. And then really gently just drop your knees over to the left. Maybe you turn your head to the right. Breathe deeply. Deep rich inhales, full. Release and exhales. Nice. Deep inhale. Full exhale. 2 more like that. Deep inhale. Full exhale. Final time, deep inhale. And a full exhale. Nice. Bring an inhale, bring the knees all the way back to center. Beautiful. And then just take this opportunity just to bring the knees back in towards the belly or the chest. And then think about your tailbone again. Maybe you bring the hand onto the knees like I have, and then you just push the knees away. So that quite naturally brings that length in the tailbone. Beautiful. From here, we're going to come into happy baby. So remember, you've got 3 options. You can be here where you just bring the hands underneath the thighs. You can bring your hands on the outer edge of the feet, or you can bring your hands with the 2 peace fingers around your toes. So you hook onto the toes And then you're thinking about your tailbone again. So maybe find a position with the hands that work for you, and then think about lengthening your tailbone down into the floor. If you're in the version that I am, around the toes or the sides of the feet or around the back of the thighs, it doesn't matter. You just rock from side to side. Just bring that little massage in, and your knees are nice and wide. Have a quick look. It doesn't matter how far they are down towards the ground, but what you don't want to do is this, where the knees are together. You want to widen them so you feel that stretch into the inner thighs. That's probably the most important thing here. Make sure your back of the neck feels okay. And close the eyes. I realize it's not the most comfortable pose for some people. So breathe deeply into the inner hips. The knees can be very tight. Take one more deep inhale. Then as you exhale, wherever you are, bring your hands onto your outer knees. Bring them together. Hug your knees in. And then see if you can bring your forehead up towards your knees. Beautiful. Really nice. And then from here, just bring your feet back down onto the floor. Let your soles of the feet touch this time. And then let your knees fall open. And then bring your arms super wide. See if you can do this and make a sort of like a star shape. So you stretch the arms above the head. Let them fall down. Soles of the feet are together. Knees are nice and wide. Awareness on the breath. This is Supta Baddha Konasana. It's reclined cobbler pose. So again, getting into the inner thighs. Should feel quite relaxing. And then from here, just take 2 more complete rounds of breath. Beautiful, nice. And then sweep your arms up. Bring them on the outside of your knees. Bring your knees together and then just hug your knees in. Beautiful. Roll over to one side when you're ready. Press into the top hand and then push yourself up. So what I'd like you to do, you don't have to do this, is I'm going to give you an option. So this is called Varita, I can't remember the name of it, Viparita Karani. There you go. And it's legs up the wall. So this is amazing when it's warm. Also, if you really suffer when you're going to bed and you just can't relax, or you can't relax at any point in the day, do this pose. It's amazing. All you're doing is you're bringing your legs up and then you just let in all of the central nervous system calm down. It's an inversion as well. So you find that the heart is right below the head and that can really calm you down. So the way to get into it, I don't have a huge amount of room here, but if you've got room, come up against a wall. You know, I could do it against this radiator, but I want to kick my pictures off the wall. So wherever you are, if you've got your side wall, you're just going to shuffle so you're sideways on towards the wall. And then just make sure your sit bones are right up against the wall. And then all you do is you just lie back and then you just turn and then you bring your feet up against the wall. It's that simple. So when I think about it, my tailbone, my bum is like flat on the floor here. Now, if this feels too much in the spine, place a cushion underneath it. And then you go as wide as you want with the legs. I go quite wide, but not super wide. And then you've got an option. You can place one hand on the heart. You can place one hand on the belly. You can come back to where we were and stretch the arms above the head if that feels good. Or you can just relax the hands wherever feels good for you. Get comfortable though. Breathe really deeply. If this feels too much in the hamstrings, you know, the legs straight, do this. Just bend into the knees. It doesn't matter. So this is also an alternative, you know, for seated forward folds, which can be hard for a lot of people because they're tight in the hamstrings and the lower back. This is a really nice option to come into it. So I've got a little bend in my knees. And then just breathe deeply here. Hopefully everyone's found a position that works for you. Nothing like this is working. Just come straight into Shavasana. If you find it hard to come into these poses, you're restricted in any way or it doesn't work for you, then just find a pose that feels good for you. And just breathe deeply here. If you've got your hand on your belly, breathe super deep into the hand. And just taking these final few minutes of the class just to calm everything down, to calm the central nervous system. set up a new patterning within your body, one of ease and rest, relaxation, instead of kind of like stress, busyness. And we bring that clarity of thought, clarity of mind. So I'll give you an option. You can either stay here, this can be your Shavasana, or you can come out of this pose and come into Shavasana. If you're going to come out of it, I'll show you what to do. So you're going to bring the soles of the feet onto the wall, just so the spine is nice and relaxed. Bring your knees somewhat together, and then you're going to come out exactly the way you came in. You're just going to roll to one side and then press yourself up and then come to lie on your mat. Or maybe you just remain where you were. It doesn't matter. If you're in Shavasana or Viparita Karani with the legs still at the wall, that's great. Just the final 2 or 3 minutes of the class are for you only. Try and find stillness. It's probably the only time today that you're going to allow yourself this total relaxation. And then reluctantly, for myself anyway, when you're ready, just begin to come out of your Shavasana, maybe deepen your breath and bring some movements back into the body. And I say reluctantly, if you want to lie here and you just ignore what I'm doing, then feel free. Maybe you just want to spend a little bit longer in your Shavasana and you can finish the class any way that feels good for you. If you're following me, then maybe just bring your arms above the head, or let them fall behind your head. Bring the knees back in towards your chest and then just hug the knees in. And then you can just roll over to one side again and then push yourself up to a seated position. If you're in Shavasana still, then congratulations. If you've joined me and we're back, then congratulations too on making it this far. Nice, everyone. The Mala's back out. Here we go. Beautiful. Fantastic work today. So remember those 2 things that we did for heat. You know, you might need them over the next few days. Remember, with your yoga practice, it doesn't have to be a complete yoga practice. If you feel hot, do Sitali breath. You'll freak a few people out that you're sitting with, but it's an amazing breath. Breathing through the tongue or through your lips. And then the one that we did at the end, legs at the wall, Viparita Karani, fantastic pose. Do it before you go to bed. Honestly, it is a game changer. It's amazing. So these things in isolation can be fantastic. And it's yoga whenever you're doing it. Roll your mat out. Just do a couple of poses. It can serve this and this so well. All right, nice. Rub our hands together at heart center. Well done, everyone. Beautiful. Bring your left hand on your heart, your right hand on your left hand. Appreciate yourself. Appreciate yourself fully for turning up, for practicing. Maybe just bowing your head down towards your hands. You might want to say namaste. And I think about namaste as the divinity in me salutes the divinity in you. Namaste. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining today. It's always great to practice with you guys at the virtual village hall. I will be back next week. I know I said I'd be outside probably next week. It's sunny again now. Oh, well, that's the way it goes. All right, everyone. Enjoy the weekend. Take care in the hot weather. Drink plenty of fluids. Nourish yourself in any way that feels good for you. And keep joining all these beautiful classes on the Virtual Village Hall. So much content, so much that you can dip into. So thank you to those guys for hosting us all. All right. Take care. Namaste.